Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to change out the outer tie rod ends on your 2012 Camry. Camry Hybrid, Camry LE, any of those Camrys. We're going to be using the TTX outer tie rod ends. Take a look at these bad boys. These are from Mevotech. Go to mevotech.com, check out their whole selection of steering and suspension components. They also have brake pads, wheel bearings, and a bunch of other stuff. But these things are so beefy. If you're looking for a replacement part that you can count on besides OEM to just put on there and hopefully have them last for a long time, TTX is definitely the lineup you're gonna want to go for. Not only do you get an over-engineered part, you also get hardware that comes with it. And you can see that we get all the pieces that we need. So this is a greasable joint. You get a grease fitting. You're also gonna get this safety pin here. We've got a jam nut and also a castle nut as well. But this thing, you can see it's multi-sealed so that it really keeps the grease locked in and it keeps the moisture from getting in, which is a main cause of why these get destroyed. Also, you can't physically see the ball that's inside, but it has an oversized ball in it. So it's just super beefed up. These things are sick. Check out all their TTX lineup. They got some sick parts. This job's gonna be pretty easy to change. Let's just quickly go over torque specs. You're gonna need to know 3 torque specs. We've got tie rod to knuckle, that's gonna be 36 foot-pounds. The tie rod jam nut is 55 foot-pounds, and the wheel nut is 76 foot-pounds. Now, the tools that you're gonna need to do this job, you're not gonna need a whole lot of tools, but you're gonna need a 21mm socket to get the wheel off. You're gonna need a 17mm socket to get the factory nut off to separate the tie rod from the knuckle. And then you're gonna need a 19mm wrench to get the jam nut loosened off so you can separate the inner and outer tie rod ends. You're also gonna wanna get some gloves and safety glasses for your personal protection, a decent size hammer, and also I'm gonna be using this digital caliper, but you could use any sort of ruler or measuring device so that we can try to set this tie rod end back as close to where the old one is before we send it off for an alignment. You will want to get an alignment done on your vehicle after replacing any steering or suspension components so that the vehicle drives straight and also so that it doesn't wear out your tires prematurely. It's a pretty important thing. I've also got this drill with a wire wheel on it. We're going to use that to clean all the rust off of the threads so that everything comes apart nice and everything goes back together nice. So the last thing is, if you do buy these TTX parts, like I say, you get oversized stuff. The nuts, the jam nut and the nut that hold the tie rod end to the knuckle are bigger than the factory fasteners. So if you decide to use those in the kit, you're gonna need a 18mm socket for the castle nut and a 22mm wrench for the jam nut. So without further ado, let's get started. We just gotta lift this vehicle up. Obviously we have a lift, but for those of you at home, get it jacked up. We're gonna pull a wheel off, 21mm wheel nuts. All right, we're gonna get some light set up, but there is the outer tie rod end. It's very accessible. This thing's gonna be a piece of cake to change. All right, guys, so step one, we wanna clean these threads that are in here. So this is the jam nut, and what it does is when it tightens down, it locks the inner tie rod end to the outer tie rod end so that they're one unit. And I've already cleaned and painted this thing a couple weeks ago, but yours is probably gonna be pretty rusty. These jam nuts like to seize on here pretty good. But we need to make sure that this jam nut runs free all the way up the threads and all the way down the threads once we get this off, so that when the guy who aligns the car goes to align it, he can loosen this off and he's able to actually wind this in and out to set the toe of the vehicle. So very important, we're gonna clean these threads, make sure that they're nice and clean using our wire wheel. Spray some penetrating oil on there. Probably want to spray some penetrating oil on the end of this as well. What I'm going to do now is just take my 19mm wrench. We're going to break that jam nut free, just so that it doesn't have to be all the way off, but just want to break it free just so it comes off, basically. Okay, so the driver's side, you're going to want to go this way. That's going to be loosened. And sometimes they get really stuck on there So you might, if you have access to a torch, might be nice to just put a little heat into that nut. But yeah, you can see that we're loose now, and it's actually just spinning the whole inner tie rod end, which is good. We want it to kind of be like that, so that when we go to put the new tie rod end on, it doesn't really mess with the adjustment too bad. But we're gonna be changing that nut out anyways. And I'm gonna take a measurement of where the nut is before we swap the whole jam nut out. So now that that's broken free, the next thing we gotta do is remove this cotter pin. There is a cotter pin that goes into the end of this nut that secures the outer tie rod end to the knuckle. Just simply fold it. Might not come out as easy as that. This just got replaced, like I say, a couple weeks ago. So chances are yours is gonna be rusted in there, and the ears are gonna just snap off and it's gonna be stuck in there. Not a huge deal. We're changing the tie rod end. So what I'm gonna get you to do is basically just put your 17mm socket on there, get it started, and just hammer it on until it goes right on. Okay, so now the nut is off, and there's a taper on the stud of the outer tie rod end that goes into a taper hole that's on the knuckle. And the outer tie rod end is probably gonna be stuck in there pretty good, and you're not gonna be able to just take it right out like I'm gonna be able to. But what you're gonna do is just use a hammer, and if you hammer right on here, you're gonna shock this and it's going to let go and allow you to pull this out. There is a tool that is like a fork that goes in there and spreads apart to help let that release. But I know most of you at home will probably have a hammer and not have that tool, so. Okay, now that you've got this out, all you gotta simply do is just twist this loose, take it off. You'll notice that there's an L stamped on this one. It's for the left side, and the right side is curved in the opposite direction. So there is a left and a right. They're not both the same. So there's the tie rod end. This is the original tie rod end with 430,000 kilometers on it. And it's still good, which is amazing. But now what we've got to do is we're gonna clean these threads here. And then you can see that the inner tie rod end here actually accepts a wrench or vice grips. And we're gonna use that to hold the inner tie rod end while we loosen this off. And then we're gonna clean all the threads up nice, and we'll put a new jam nut on there. Now, a lot of people, what they do is they just leave that nut and they don't take it off. And then they just put the new tie rod end on there and snug it up. And that gets you pretty close. Most tie rod ends are about the same length, but we're gonna compare this one to the TTX and see what it looks like. All right, so comparing the two, they're very close. They might not be 100% exactly the same length, but they're 99.9%. So, like I say, if you want, you can just leave the jam nut and not change it. I know most of you might not buy these and you have just a cheap tie rod and that all you get is this. That's fine. You just simply thread this thing on there after we clean the threads, and once it's on there, it's gonna be set pretty close to where the other one was. But you're still gonna wanna get an alignment done. I promise you, just get an alignment done after you change the parts. Otherwise, your tires are probably gonna start to wear funny. Okay, this is where the digital caliper or ruler comes into play. We wanna measure basically where this nut is sitting on the inner tie rod end. So what I'm gonna do, I've got it zeroed out. I'm set to millimeters. You can use whatever measurement you want. But we're gonna go from basically the end of the nut to the end of the tie rod end. I'm gonna lock that in at 23.58. So now when we take this nut off, we'll know where to put the nut back on so that the depth is as close as we can get it. Okay, now we're just gonna carefully clean these threads. All right, so this part here that's cut out in the tie rod end, it's 14mm wrench that's gonna let you grab a hold of that. Like I say, sometimes the nut is on so tight that it's going to just round off in here and you're gonna have to use some vice grips. But basically all we wanna do is try to get this to free up. And you can see I've got it turning already. Use some penetrating oil if you can. And we're gonna wind this thing all the way off of the outer tie rod end, or the inner tie rod end, sorry. There. All right, now we're going back to clean the rest of the rust that was underneath that nut. Once you get it all clean, spray some penetrating oil or some kind of lubricant on there just to keep the threads nice and slickery. Take our jam nut, doesn't matter which end you start with, and just thread that thing on there. We need to get it set back to roughly where our measurement was, 23.58. Something about there. Okay, now all we got to do is just start the tie rod. Wind it in until it's pretty close, right about there. All right, just cleaning this surface. It's an important surface to clean. That is where this seal is going to seal against. So important that we don't have any rust there. And I'm also just going to wash out that bore as well where all the rust and stuff just went down. We want that to be clean too. All right, we're just going to put a little bit of grease on there and wipe it around. Just going to really help protect the rust from starting. All right, now all we got to do is just drop this thing in place. Sometimes the studs will be a little bit crooked, and all you got to do is just move the knuckle back and forth until the stud basically drops down through. And now we've got enough stud protruding out the bottom that we can get that castle nut started. Take the castle nut, start it by hand, run it down as tight as you can, and we're going to torque this thing. Okay, we're going to now torque this to 36 foot-pounds. And then what I want you to do is look at the stud. There's a hole that that pin passes through, and you can see that our castellations are not lined up. So all we need to do is just tighten this a little more. We always tighten opposed to loosening when it comes to trying to line up the holes. You can see I have to go a little bit more yet. A little bit more yet. We're almost there. And right about there, that's going to be perfect. Now we can put our lock pin in place. The lock pin goes in sideways like this. And the little hook just goes into this groove that's in the side of the castle nut and locks into place so that it can't come back out. Now that that's in there, we're going to torque down this jam nut. Okay, we've torqued that down to 55 foot-pounds using crow's foot. And you want to make sure if you are using this kind of configuration with a torque wrench like this, that the crow's foot is in the shape of an L and not straight forwards. I guess 90 degrees is what you want for a proper torque application. All right, now what we want to do, let's move this back a little bit. Take this little rubber plug out of here, and then we're going to install our grease fitting. So simply start that by hand. Wind it in as tight as you can, and then on this specific part, it's a 3/8 wrench that you need to tighten this thing down. And once it bottoms out, You don't really want to tighten it too much more, but we want to make sure that this is angled correctly. You don't want to point it at the disc, otherwise it's never going to be serviceable. Ideally, you're going to want it to be pointed this way so that when the wheel is here and you're under the car, you can just go right in here. So I'm going to try to just tighten it a little bit more. Yeah, right about there. That should actually be pretty well good. Okay, so now, because this is a greasable joint, I'm gonna put some grease in it. Now, specifically, these TTX line components come pre-greased, but if you buy a cheaper one that comes with a grease fitting on it, it might not. So, always have a grease gun on hand for those greasable, serviceable components. Simply slide this on, and we're just gonna give it a couple pumps, nothing too serious. And that's like a component that you would probably want to just have inspected every time the vehicle gets an oil change. Make sure the boot's good, make sure the seal's good, and just make sure that it is greased up and good to go. And then all I'm going to do is just wipe a little grease around there just to try to prevent rust from starting, and we'll put the little cap back on. And we're almost away to the races. All right, so that's all there is to it. It's pretty easy to change these outer tie rod ends on these Camrys. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Like I say, go to mebotech.com. Go check out their whole lineup on parts available for your car. They sell a whole wide range of things, and their TTX lineup's insane. So I think that's pretty much it for the vid. The last thing was just putting the wheel on. You're going to want to torque that down. The book says 76 foot-pounds. Tighten the nuts down in a 5-star pattern. Do 2 passes of that. And then about 60 miles or 100 kilometers of driving, you should do a wheel retorque. Just make sure that the wheel nuts are seated correctly and everything's cool. But the last thing I will say is you definitely want to do an alignment after you change any steering or suspension components, because it doesn't take very much to throw it out a few degrees. You might even not notice it in the steering wheel at all, but it could chew off your tires, cause them to wear funny, wear premature, and even give you bad handling characteristics on the car. So it's really important that you get it aligned afterwards. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.